Hey guys and girls, and welcome to a brand new collection video. Woohoo! In this series of videos I'm going to be showing you my Nintendo collection, starting off with the humble Game Boy. So here we go. Tetris! Everyone who owns a Game Boy has to own this game. The same with this one. Super Mario Land. I like this camera, it takes a while to focus in, but yeah, as you see it's not in good condition anymore, but it still works and that's the main thing. Alleyway, because I love Arkanoid and this is boring. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, Fall of the Foot Clan. And before anybody starts to argue, it does indeed say Hero, but I don't think... Nah, it's not going to focus. Probably just about make it out, but yeah, it does say Hero. I know it's Ninja, but over here it was called Hero. And Pokemon. Now, this is an interesting addition to my collection because I've never ever played Pokemon before, ever. And a friend of mine didn't want this anymore and she just said that I could have it, and I thought, okay, it's a free game. I'm probably never going to play this, I'm just going to keep it because it's all nice and sparkly. Moving on to the Game Boy Color. Mortal Kombat 4. It is shite. WrestleMania 2000. It is shite. Grand Theft Auto. Guess what? It's shite. So yeah. Some more Game Boy Color games. Spy vs Spy. Now this is brilliant. I remember playing this back on the old Spectrum. Oh, and it's good. I like it. Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. Metal Gear Solid, which is kind of like the older Metal Gear games on the MSX and the NES, kind of, but it's more in line with Metal Gear Solid for PlayStation. Yeah, I was about to say PS2 then. Well, I suppose so a little bit. But yeah, it's more like the NES games. Micro Machines 1 and 2, Twin Turbo, yay! I've got the... Did I do a Mega Drive collection? I must have done. Memory's going. Anyway, yeah. Micro Machines. I'd never had 1 and 2 for the Mega Drive, so I got it for the Game Boy Color, and it's not too bad. Moving on to the Game Boy Advance. Super Street Fighter 2 X Revival. Well, there you go. Metroid Zero Mission. Super Mario Advance 2! Which is, obviously, as you can see, Super Mario World. Not quite sure why I showed you the loose cartridge of that, because I've actually got the box right here. And Doom. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry. Anyway, moving on to the Japanese games. Tekken Advance, which is actually a really good achievement for the Game Boy Advance. Which is, considering that it has 2 buttons, it actually plays quite well. And of course, here it is, Super Mario Advance 2, Super Mario World. Sonic Advance, which leads us on to the European games, and surprisingly enough, or rather unsurprisingly enough, Sonic Advance 2! You can imagine what's next. Go on, have a guess. Have a guess what's next. Say it right now. Were you right? Sonic Advance 3! I quite like this. Sonic Battle. Surprisingly enough, I like this as well. You know, it had a really good 3D environments and, you know, it kind of worked with the 2D sprites and what have you. I never got around to collecting all the cards though. Oh, never mind. Mario Party Advance. I have never bought a more boring game than this, and I have bought boring games. Moving on. I've got to make sure this pile doesn't fall over. Super Mario Brothers, because everybody needs to own this game in one form or another. X vs. Sever, which isn't a bad little first-person shooter. Gunstar, Future Heroes, everyone owes it to themselves to hunt down a copy of this. And, may I add, Metal Slug Advance. Metroid Fusion, I haven't got around to playing this yet, but I've heard it's quite good, but it's pretty linear compared to, well, compared to most Metroids really. And finally, Mario Kart Super Circuit. Now, I've got to be honest with you guys, I'm not overly keen on this one. I mean, I kind of liked the SNES game, which I know was what this one takes after, but I don't know, there's something about Super Circuit that I just can't get on with. It's not one of my favourites. So yeah, there we go, short and sweet video, my entire Game Boy collection. It's quite humble in comparison to a lot of my other console collections, but you know, for what it's worth, I'm happy with what I've got so far, and it's, to be honest, I think the Game Boy is probably one of the few machines that I probably won't be too bothered about building up just yet. Give it a little while longer maybe, but for right now I'm just concentrating on collecting for the consoles. So yeah, there we go.